Hello, my most amazing artists. How are you today? This is a video that goes along with our 3G art lesson for this week. You'll notice that I have a picture here that is in your packet as well. This painting was called The Peaceable Kingdom, and the artist who made this was named Edward Hicks. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about this today. So Edward Hicks was born in America in the 1700s. He grew up in early America, and before he was a painter, he was actually a preacher because he was part of a group of people called the Quakers. And so a lot of his paintings have to do with stories from the Bible. Now this one comes from a book called Isaiah, and there's a passage in Isaiah that talks about peace, and that even the lion will get along with the lamb, and animals that are usually enemies will get along. And so that's something that you see in this picture. You see animals that would normally be predator and prey are getting along. There's also something I want you to notice in the background. Go way back there. You'll see that there are two groups of people getting along. So what you'll see is the men in black hats, those were the Quakers, and they were making a peace agreement, a treaty with the Native Americans that were already on that land. So this painting right here has a few elements of art that I want to talk about as well. Now, of course, paintings are flat, they're two-dimensional, but artists have a special way of making it look like there's space, like there's a 3D kind of thing going on. And so what you'll notice is that there's a background, a middle ground, and a foreground. So let's check out some things in those areas. What do you see in the background? The things that look farthest away. You should be noticing that there's some sky, there's some small trees, there's some water back here, and I would even say this group of humans is in the background. Now, what are some things in the middle ground? What you'll notice in the middle ground would be some of the bigger trees and some of the animals in this area that's kind of up here. And then what is in the foreground, those are the things that are closest to the bottom of the picture, and they look like they're the closest to you. So a lot of times they will be bigger in size. So you'll see here that the little children and some of the bigger animals are in the foreground. All right, so today we are going to focus on one particular animal, and that animal is the lion. So you are going to go ahead and grab a piece of white paper, and you're going to put it in the direction that is the horizontal way. This is called the landscape position, and we're going to draw a lion together. So get ready to create. Okay, let's get ready to draw our lion. So make sure your paper is in front of you in the horizontal landscape position, and make sure you have a black marker or a black crayon or even a pencil to do the drawing with. All right, so the first line we are going to draw is going to be located up here in the upper right corner. So make sure you're starting in the correct spot on your paper. Now that first line we're going to make is going to start way over here by the edge, but you have to make sure you're down a couple inches from the top. So we're going to start with a diagonal, and then it comes straight down a little ways, a diagonal again, and then it curves around to make the nose of the lion. All right, after that line, the next one is going to be the ear and part of the mane. So I'm going to make a V shape right here, and then it's going to curve up and touch the line I already made, and then come back. So try that line. Then we're going to keep going from that spot. We're going to curve around, and we're going to start making some little zigzaggy motions to start the top of his mane. All right, now we're going to take a minute and go down to the bottom of what we've drawn so far, and we're going to add on part of the mouth or the muzzle of the lion. So put your marker right by his nose and then make a curve that comes around like that and has a little bit of a backwards curve on the end. All right, and then under that line, we're gonna make the chin of the lion. So that line looks like this. There we go. All right, then the rest of his mane is really fun. It's gonna be a lot of zigzag lines. And the trick here is to make your zigzags go in different kind of, a variety of different directions, and to have some big and have some small, and just kind of curve it down until, if you look where this chin is, your mane should come down a little bit farther than where the chin is located. All right, now we're gonna make the line that's the back of the lion. So I'm gonna go back up here to about this spot, and I'm going to make a curving line. It's a very slow curve that comes down and then up and then down again. Then we're gonna go to the mane and finish that part. So over here, we're gonna just continue, but we're gonna start to turn to the right and make the bottom part of his mane. So lots of different zigzaggy lines. When you get over by the chin, make sure you come up and start going in the direction towards the top of your paper. And then that can go all the way up to where it almost touches the ear or the first part of the mane. All right, now we're gonna try the legs. So the first thing you need to do, head back over to this side of your picture, leave a little space because we're gonna need to put a tail there, and then draw the back leg by making a curve to the left, a curve to the right, a straight line, and then a diagonal that comes back, and then you have to go horizontally and then make a foot by going up with a curve, curving this way, and then forward again. So that's the shape for the hind leg. And then we're gonna make the front leg. So now we're gonna start right here by where the middle of the bottom of the mane is. We're gonna start here and we're gonna come straight down. Think about where this foot landed, because we're gonna need to make the front foot land in the same place. So come around and make the toes, and then curve back to make a horizontal line that lines up with that one. Then you've got to go back up to make the back part of the leg. All right, that's the front leg. Now we're going to connect these two with the belly. So it's a little higher up back here, and we're gonna aim to a little lower down here. So that's the line for the belly. Now we're gonna add the tail on the back. For the tail, we need to have the front part swooping like a U shape, and then the part underneath it needs to kind of run in the same curve. And then if you remember what lions have at the end of their tail, there's usually kind of a bushy end of the tail. So we'll put that on, kind of like what a paintbrush looks like. There we go. All right, now we're gonna add 2 more legs. So the other leg in the back is going to be located right back here. So you make a hind leg that lands a little bit higher than the foot in front of it, but it's the same shape, like that. And then the one over here in the front legs, again, you start behind, you land a little bit higher than where the front leg is, and then make sure it's hiding behind that front leg. All right, now the space over here, if you left a space right here, that's where we're going to put a rounded ear. So put a rounded ear, make a little second line inside of it, and then the eye is kind of a fun shape. So the eye has kind of a straight line, and then it has a circular shape after that line. Now those are the basic parts of our lion. We can connect this here, and you can put in a little pupil and color that eye in. Now you can add some details if you'd like. So some of the things you can add is you can add color, or you can just use pencil and shade it in. And so I'm going to just add a little more detail. I'm going to color his nose darker black. I'm going to add a little bit of some of the lines to make the mane look like it's kind of flowing. So I'm just going to make some of these lines come across like this. Then I'm going to put a few lines in the tail to make that look hairy. All right, and the last thing I'm going to do is paint my lion. Now remember, you can choose to color your lion however you want. You can shade it with pencil, or you can color it with markers or colored pencils. You could use paint. It is up to you. Okay, I think my lion is complete. I hope that you will take a picture of your lion and email it to me at rose@parnassusprep.com. All right, thanks for being creative with me today.